I'm going to say circle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say circle. And I like 1 or 2 fingers.
Woo!
I love it. And that's why I'm excited to get a session with you.
Yes.
Because I learn from doing experiential learning.
Yes.
And I've tried many different things. So I'm excited for this for sure.
Ooh, that's so awesome.
And that's an amazing practice because I talk to a lot of even like younger people, they're sexually anxious. So I feel like this could be so helpful for really anyone because you might think like you need to be like an older person to want to get a sexological bodywork session, but I don't think so. I feel like this applies to everybody. So who is your usual clientele?
You know, I have a pretty diverse client base. So I have younger folks, older folks, everyone in between, transgender folks, like people of all, you know, genders and ages. And it's basically just the whole gamut of people that you could imagine, which is what it always makes it interesting every single time.
What's the youngest age?
Oh, I mean, people in the early 20s I've seen.
And then the oldest?
Oh, probably in their 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You really have seen everyone.
Yeah. I actually just had a session with like an older gentleman, you know, in his 80s that wanted to work with his prostate and wanted to like explore prostate milking.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
He had, like,
I
an
gotta
enlarged
probe
prostate.
that. So tell us more about the prostate milking.
Oh, yes. I love it. I love helping men explore their prostates. For some, it is like a game changer where they're like, oh my gosh, where has this been my whole life? Like, I had no idea this existed. I'm like, all right, let's give this a try. So it's really, you're just taking your index finger or any kind of finger and just, you know, kind of like you would with the G-spot, the female G-spot. You're going up and you're finding what feels like an almond-shaped, you know, tissue that's a little bit harder and a little bit firmer. It's a little bit further back than the female G-spot. And you're just doing that come hither milking while you're also kind of working with the shaft and stroking them at the same time. I like to sync them up for like a really nice
situation right now.
So I'm like, so it can be a really pleasurable experience. And it can be like add this extra layer and depth to like orgasmic, you know, energy because they're experiencing these nerve endings that are like deep inside. It's very different, very deep. Yeah, it is pretty deep. And so combined with like external stimulation too, it's amazing. And for some, they just can't get over the idea of it. Kind of like, oh, there's a finger up my butt, you know, but actually,
like that's gay.
Right. Yeah, that's gay.
You know, a
like,
sex therapist once told me, and it stuck with me since then, was body parts don't have sexual orientation. So why do you say putting something up your butt is gay? Because like your butthole is just a butthole, it's neutral.
Yes.
It's
totally
a neutral body part. Anything up in it is just like a thing. It's an act.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have sexual orientation.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
So I not that there's anything wrong with being gay. Gay rights.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
But it's just so interesting how people are so attached to the connotative meaning of the different sexual acts.
Yes, absolutely. And there's these stigmas attached to anal in general can be like filled with stigmas. But yes, so I'm hoping to fill them with more pleasure and more of a shame-free, you know, excitement about that because
just fill me up. Not with stigma.
Exactly. I like that. It works.
Okay, so now I want you to walk me through a session. Let's start with a session with a man with erectile dysfunction. What does that look like?
So a lot of times, well, actually, I'll describe a little bit more about if someone had premature ejaculation. We'll go there because that's a little bit easier to describe how I would kind of go about that.
Okay.
Oftentimes when premature ejaculation is happening, there's kind of a disconnect between the body and arousal. And sometimes they're stuck in their heads. They're not fully embodied. Sometimes there's anxiety or anxiousness around what's happening. So a typical session could be that we're helping get this person nice and relaxed, first of all. So they're on their stomach. I do a nice, slow, sensual massage. I do a little bit of teasing, encourage them to be breathing and starting to get mindful of their body, but not just their arousal, but their entire body. So I always say your body is one big sexual organ, and oftentimes we're just so genitally focused. So sometimes when we're able to like access our full body, our sexual potential just like, just increases, and it's just so powerful. And we become a lot more in control, and we have more stamina when we access our breath, when we access our full body and our mindfulness, and also get into a more relaxed space because our nervous system has to be calm to have a little bit more control. So we do a lot of work with breathing. And so what I do is when I turn them over after they've received a nice massage, they're feeling very relaxed. We're, having a mindful approach, and we're also breathing. And we do the number system too, where I start stimulating them and I'm going very slow. So they're able to hang out in the space instead of going from 0 to 10 meaning they're having an orgasm or premature orgasm. We're going to hang out in the space of a 6 or a 7 and be breathing and moving their body, squeezing their pelvic floor muscles. I'm kind of checking in with them. And they're able to kind of hang out and ride that edge for a bit.
Are you playing with the penis at this point?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
not fast.
No, not fast.
Right.
Very mindfully, very slow. That way, like the slowness really helps reprogram the body to also get more sensitized. Because oftentimes people get in patterns of just rushing through masturbation where they're like, oh, I got to get one out, knock one out. I got to knock one out. That's usually like how it goes. So you program your body to just knock one out. Right. So when you're being intimate with your partner, your body's like, 0 to 10, 0, I got to hurry up, right? And so this is like, how can we train the body to hang out at a 6, 7, and 8, be breathing, feeling your whole body, connecting with that like sexual energy, and then also go slower and be able to just take your time. And I also have them breathing through this and using their voice, right? Because when you're sighing and moaning, it also helps your nervous system like relax more too, and it helps give you more control. So
I can attest to that because I do feel like when I'm a moaner.
Yes.
In all aspects of life.
Same.
Like, I'm eating and I'm like,
yes. Oh my gosh.
And then I'm getting a massage. I'm like,
when someone gives me a hug, I'm like,
yeah. I love, I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
is that the word?
That's amazing. I love that you're audible. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I encourage people is to be moaners, to have dirty talk incorporated into things, to be able to express yourself vocally. Because if you're kind of not breathing and you're not vocalizing, all this energy kind of gets trapped in your body.
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
it gets transformed into anxiety, performance anxiety, stress, and you're not going to experience as much pleasure. Like when you're like, I'm like releasing all this stress from my body, and I am able to kind of feel this energy move, and it will relax me. So yeah, it's absolutely very strongly encouraged. So that's really helpful to actually have control over your ejaculation too.
Yeah. And I think it's also such a sexy experience if you feel like, I feel like this audible exercise can be used by anyone at home. Yeah. Like if you're at home and you want to almost like activate your like sensuality and sexuality and you just don't know where to start. And typically when you think of sex, you think of touch, like physical touch. But I think you can also start with sounds. Like you can also start with releasing audibly. Like and kind of go from there. I do think there's a lot of energy stuck in the throat. Yes. So I think that is like such a great experience, a great way to practice your expressing your sexuality.
Yes. And then like, especially when you're having an orgasm too, to be able to be like vocal, particularly.
Oh, I'm super loud. And like not on purpose. Yes. Like, I try
you're
to
just being free.
Just be free. Yeah. Yeah. I was not like this before. This is like a new discovery for me for the last, like, I would say 4 years. Yeah. Prior to that, I was very hush-hush. Prior to that, I had a lot of shame of so many things. Like my body, my pussy, my, like, the way I looked during sex, whether my boobs looked good, so many things. And, if I sounded stupid, like I had a lot of these thoughts. So embarking on this like sexual awakening journey for me was was interesting. I tried many different things, and that's why I'm excited to get a session with you.
Yes.
Because I learn from doing experiential learning.
Yes.
And I've tried many different things. So I'm excited for this for sure.
Ooh, that's so awesome.
Which
Yes.
then the next one that I want to know is, what is it like for a woman, let's say, who wants to feel like more sexual in her body, or maybe even learning like female ejaculation, who comes to you for a sexological bodywork session? What is that like?
So I get a lot of women who've never had an orgasm before, or don't really know much about how to have orgasms with a partner, or just feel like very kind of sexually closed off, right? So one of the things that we work with is erotic mapping. And I do this with couples too, which can be so much fun as well. And erotic mapping is just a very detailed way of mapping out what is erotic and what is arousing, and what very specific types of touch the body really likes. So for example, what we do is what I call yoni massage, which is a vulva massage kind of thing. And we basically go through all these different aspects around female anatomy, and I'm touching and stimulating those areas. And again, doing so in a mindful, slow sort of way, so they can actually really take the time to like feel. So for example, and I'm curious for you as well, for fun, but like with the clit, you can go back and forth over the clit. You can do circles on the clit. You can go up and down on the clit. And some people like it a little higher on the clit, a little lower on the clit. So we kind of, test that out too. It's like, oh, do you like a lot of pressure? Do you like to go fast? We kind of work with that. So I'm kind of checking in, and we're having this whole feedback, which is something a lot of women don't get. They just have someone groping at them.
Right.
Exactly. And they're going in for the kill right away. Yeah, you're like,
no.
okay.
Actually, now that
Are you a back and forth circles or up and down kind of gal?
Let me see. I need to think about it for a second. I'm going to say circle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say circle. And I like one or two fingers.
Yes.
So I don't like when guys put like their whole hand on my clit.
Yeah.
I don't feel that. Like, I don't feel this.
Yeah.
I feel
so you like more specific touch.
I like more specific touch, which is literally like, I'm a Virgo, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Specific touch, like one or two fingers, and then just keep going like this. I will for sure come. Leave a comment below. I would love to hear your story. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you later. Have an orgasmic day.
Thanks for listening. This was Luvbites. By Dr. Tara. Follow Dr. Tara on social media at luvbites.co. Have an orgasmic day.